One of the biggest indicators and prerequisites of your success in business today, whether it is offline business or online business, is basically selecting something called a niche. And what is a niche is basically a subset of the marketplace that you're going to specialize in and you're going to absolutely dominate. The goal should be absolute domination. And when I say domination, not global domination, you may be dominating in a particular area, you may be dominating in a particular subject, you may be dominating in a particular sub subject, a particular persona, whatever is the unique thing, least amount of unique market position where you are the absolute leader. You don't have to be a leader in everything, okay, but you do need to have your little pocket where you are the absolute best and there is no competition, and then around that you can have other things. Now this least amount of area or least amount of specialization where you are the absolute expert is something called a niche. And how do you decide a niche? How do you find a niche? How do you stick with the niche? What are the rights and wrongs of it? I just want to give you some thoughts over here. And with that, I hope that once you're able to nail down, you're going to be able to stick with it, because this niche is something that you ideally should not change again and again. Okay, I see a lot of people in the marketplace, they get into a certain niche just because they think it's easy money, or because it's going to be fun, entertaining, or because they have one idea in the morning and they say, okay, let's start working in this area. Definitely, that's how everybody starts something. You get a bright idea, you start working, but this is serious business. And I'm going to be talking to you about why this is serious business. Okay, so let's get started. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha, medical doctor turned sales strategist. And I discovered my niche when I wanted, during my medical college days, I wanted to get into sales. Actually, I didn't want to get into sales. I wanted to make a lot of money and I didn't know how to make a lot of money. And I wanted to make a lot of money because I didn't want to be in the medical profession. And then my mentor asked me, well, what is the one thing that you want? I said, I want to be financially free. And he said, if you want to be financially free, you'll have to build skills that have a relation with that goal. And the number one skill you need to develop is to be able to sell, because if you're in sales, you're truly free. First, you're free. And then once you do sales very, very well for a period of years, then you can be financially free as well. Okay. So that's how my journey into sales started. And I just want to share with you what are the things that worked for me and help me out. Okay, so let's go to my screen over here. I've got a big yellow blog header. Let us see what it has to say. How to select your niche. Okay, how to select your niche. What is the smallest market component at which you are absolutely unbeatable? Now, the first thing is you need to be doing what you love. And this is easier said than done, but once you dabble in certain things, you will figure out what is it that you actually love, that you can stick with. Okay, and when you say you love something, doesn't mean you watch somebody in a sitcom on Netflix doing something and you get fascinated and then you start doing it. Definitely you can do some experiments. In my case, I thought I wanted to be a doctor, and I actually worked my ass off to get myself into India's #2 ranked medical college. So I was in a top tier medical college doing a top tier degree, and that is when I realized, you know what, I don't think I can do this, because when difficulties arise, when there are certain subjects that I couldn't understand, or when I was having trouble doing certain things or matching the work ethic of a doctor, doctor's work ethic is absolutely insane. So when I was doing those things, I realized, man, I don't really like it this much. So definitely it's going to start as an experimentation, but sooner or later you're going to find something that you can be bad at, and it's going to be difficult for you, but you still want to keep up with it. Okay, and that is an indication that is something that you love doing. Okay, in my case, when I started doing field sales, I tied up with a company for whom I was doing affiliate sales entirely on my own risk. And every day I had to go out and find prospects. So I had to take some time out, go out and meet some strangers, which I absolutely hated, and I was scared of that. And I had to find some phone numbers and then call them a week later or something with my product or business opportunity. And I didn't like that at first, but my mentor said, if you can keep up with it even on days that are too hot and too rainy, and you can still go out in the marketplace and find these leads and then call them and meet them at their home, and take time out of your busy schedule to be able to do all of that, and sacrifice the things that you actually do like doing, which is hanging out with friends and partying and all of that. If you can sacrifice that time and keep doing this for a couple of weeks, couple of months, let's see if you like it. And if you like it, you can just stick with it. Okay, and then I realized that I don't really like it, but I like it a little better than what my medical professional was asking me to do. So I liked being free. I liked having that risk of not being able to make money. I loved talking to strangers. I absolutely loved that. I hated going out in the sun and the rain every day when I didn't have to. But I realized, man, this is something that I actually end up loving. Okay, so what is the definition of love? Love is something that sustains even when you hate doing it. Okay, yeah. So just like you have a child, you love the child, but the child does not listen to you all the time, and most of the time they make a mess, and it's a headache watching after them. But you still do it because even if you hate it, you still do it, and that is the definition of love. Okay, so once you figure out that there is something that you love doing in the worst of circumstances, you're willing to give up some fun parts of your life in order to stick with it, then that is something that you love doing. If business or sales or serving your particular customer or doing your particular product, whatever you're doing, you don't feel like doing it, and you are unable to do it even when you don't feel like doing it, and you're taking some time off again and again, and you're kind of balancing priorities in order to accommodate it, then probably that is not something that you truly love. Okay, sales by itself as a profession, entrepreneurship by itself as a profession, is not something that you will truly love. Most of the people who are the richest men in the world, they say they went through some pretty hard times, and they say, would you like to do it again? Can you do it again? They say, no, I don't know how I did it the first time. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, has said, nobody should have to do what I have gone through, and I won't wish it on anyone. And somebody asked him, would you do it again? He said, absolutely not. I have no clue how I did it the first time. Okay, so lots of aspects of this you're going to hate, and if you're still going to be able to do it, that's amazing. Okay, so do something that you love, because then you will have inner fuel to be able to do it. Okay, in my case it was sales, and that is why I am a sales coach, sales strategist today. And when it came to sales, definitely I was selling healthcare products in the beginning, and then later I graduated onto I went onto a job, and I was able to do technology products also. And then I realized broadly sales by itself entertains me, because asking for money, I love asking for money, and I'm interested in the people. I truly want to serve people through the products that I'm selling. So yeah, I guess I ended up loving sales. All right, next you have you got to figure out your who. Now, doing what you love is the what. Okay, do what you love, so that is the activity that you love doing. But at the end, the name of the game in niche building is figuring out your who. And this is the one big pet peeve I have when I see people, especially in the online game today. People can go online, you can run some Facebook ads, you can do a bunch of things, and people keep saying, oh, I need to change my niche because this niche is not working, and I'm not so sure I like this niche. Hey man, I truly absolutely support that. You may not have hit the bullseye the first time, but as fast as you possibly can, you got to figure out who it is you want to serve, and that truly is your niche. It doesn't matter whether it goes through up times, down times. If there are people in that niche, if it's a customer persona who has a problem and who is paying to solve that problem world over, then and if that's your bang on target persona, then you stick with them. Okay, so it's a question of who you want to serve. And then today the market is all about tribe building, which means what? Everybody, including big companies like H&M, Gap, all of these hotshot multi-million, multi-billion dollar companies, they have a target persona in mind for whom they are making their apparel. Okay, whether it is 18 to 20-year old, just talk about anybody, man. Zara has a target customer in mind, H&M has a target customer in mind, Gap has a target customer in mind. Everybody has a target customer in mind. Okay, even soft drink companies have a target customer in mind. All right, today Taylor Swift, the biggest hit music star of our generation, she has a specific target customer in mind that has built her the tribe to where she is, which is the biggest pop star of her generation. Okay, and everybody is targeting a person, and then what they do is they expand their product line to serve that person to that highest level. Okay, it's not about going wide, it's about going deep. All right, it's about going deep. Okay, in my particular case, I'll just quickly share with you. If you are confused about who is your who, the simplest answer is just look at somebody who's a younger version of you that you needed when you were younger. Okay, if you were in a younger format when you were struggling, or when you went through a certain phase in life that was very challenging, if that there are more people struggling at the same level and you can help them with your experience, and they should be your target client. Simple. In my particular case, I struggled as a commission seller selling health products, doing network marketing. I struggled badly, and then later I realized that the whole education system was fully outdated. Today, I am giving back to that market and helping somebody who could be a 20-year-old version of me struggling with the same problem, and I'm super proud and happy to be able to help them. And I've created an entire line of products and services to help these people with an earlier version of me at the deepest and highest level. Okay, so the niche is not about how, and the niche is truly not about the what. The niche is about the who. Once you can lock down and you can resonate with that particular persona, you just do go all in and just serve that particular persona. That's it. Okay, so that was point number 2. Let's go to the next point. Once you're doing Once you kind of start building out your products and services, the way we do it on the internet, you build it around 3 secrets, which means you should have 3 separate things that converge onto that particular client, their needs. Okay. In my case, when I'm serving commission sellers, I serve financial planners, network marketers, people who already have a product and they're locked into their company's commoditized product. There's a lot of saturation in the market. What I help them to do is, first I need to help them open up the saturation. So I am a sales coach, but I also teach lead generation. So that's secret number 1. And secret number 2 is being extremely good at tactical selling, which I call the express highway to the mad money call script. Okay. Now the call script by itself doesn't really work if you don't have leads, for which is my one secret, and it doesn't really work if you have a saturated commoditized product which has banner blindness, which most financial planners and health coaches are selling. Okay, so you need to have more product lines which help you get more leverage. So the third thing I teach is product strategy. Okay, now there are 3 different things that are there in my product line. All right, and what I do is if you have multiple marketing channels, like today I have multiple marketing channels, I just use one theme per marketing channel. For my ads and webinars, if people come into my webinars, I talk only about one thing, which is, hey, how do commission sellers build product strategy? That is my theme. On YouTube, if you're watching this video on YouTube, I have there's only one goal, is to teach tactical sales, man. Teach tactical sales. That's it. All right. If you're on my larger email list, I talk about deep mindset. Okay, because that's something that truly fascinates me. What are the deep down elements that make people behave the way they behave? So I talk about deep mindset over there. So every marketing channel has got one solid theme. Okay, even on YouTube or any one marketing channel, you can mix things up, but don't mix them all at once. Okay, I do typically 1 quarter extremely hard on tactical sales. If you see some of my older years on YouTube, some of my older videos that go back 2 years back, they were talking more about product strategy. Some of my videos even older than that were talking about digital marketing. So that's fine, but just stick with one flavor for extended periods of time, at least 3 months. Okay, at least 3 months. Okay, so this, once you've been able to do this, once you're doing what you love, you figured out your who and you're able to serve them at the deepest level, and you have different themes that you're attacking the market with, then you're going to start developing the most important thing in brand building, which is called a body of work. Body of work. A body of work is your unique way of serving your client that creates something unique in the industry. Okay, you don't need to be the biggest. You don't need to be the biggest brand. You don't need to be the biggest bestseller. But whatever you're doing needs to be highly specific, needs to work, and there need to be success studies through it. Okay, just like my body of work in tactical selling is called nil negotiation selling. A lot of the concepts I talk about in these YouTube videos about tactical selling have been compiled in this book. This is my body of work, which means got chapter upon chapter upon chapter of highly unique way of looking at sales and highly unique way of attacking the sales game. Of course, the concepts of sales are just going to be uniform because it's, at the end of the day, it's a universal skill. But I've developed some body of work over here. I've developed some body of work in digital marketing. I've developed a body of work in product strategy by helping one type of person achieving one type of result consistently over time. And that has allowed us to make fine-tweaked tune-ups to every little part of the process. Just so that even if I were to make videos of any part of what I do, let's say I were to make videos on deep mindset, if I were to make videos on tactical sales, or if I were to make videos on digital marketing or whatever, I could go on and on for 40, 50 videos without ever repeating myself. Okay, of course, concepts are going to remain the same fluid concepts, but my body of work is going to be very, very unique. And once you start developing that, then you can truly start standing out. And this is one of the biggest elements in personalized brand building. Okay, a lot of people are talking about the same things and they all sound the same. Unless you can just start differentiating yourself at scale, okay, not something that you just came up with, something that you came up with that has been battle tested, honed with customer feedback, success studies are there, and it is set, and it is something that you created that nobody else created simply because you spent more time with one particular customer persona than anybody else. And you can have your own niche domination. You can have niche domination. So for commission sellers to go online, especially in India, I have niche domination. Doesn't mean I'm the biggest bestseller. Doesn't mean I'm as big as the biggest network marketers or anything like that. Okay. In fact, most of my students probably have achieved pin levels in their industry that I could never even dream of. But when you come to this particular combination of needs plus persona plus body of work, then I have domination because now I've been doing 5+ years of this. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so those are my thoughts about niche. Just take it very, very seriously. By the way, I have changed my niche when I started doing digital marketing in 2020, selling out my course program and stuff. I was targeting doctors because I thought they would probably need some digital marketing. Then somebody told me to change my niche and go for commission selling. And since then, I've been focused. So it's been 4 years. So it's not that you should not change your niche, but do not be frivolous with your strategy. Okay, whatever you choose has to be for a certain reason. If you make a change, it has to be consciously for a certain reason, and there has to be a much, much deeper strategy behind it. Don't do things just because they are in fashion, or because they are sexy, or because you feel like it, or because you saw it on a sitcom on Netflix that it would look cool, or because there is easy money in it. Because there is no easy money, I can tell you that. Okay, this industry is going to make you do things and put you in situations where it's really going to test your resolve. And if you're in the wrong niche, you're not going to stick, man. Just like how I was not able to stick in the medical industry in spite of having a great degree from one of the most coveted colleges in India. Okay, just didn't have the resolve to go through with the lifestyle choices that some of my friends and my classmates were making. And for that, I respect them to the highest level. It's just that I couldn't do it. Okay, very simple. All right, so I hope this was useful. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon on this channel. Let me know what other videos I can make for you. Let me know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.